We're going to walk you through the installation of the J&L oil separator for your Ranger Raptor. Including the J&L kit is a fully assembled oil separator with quick connect fittings, a mounting bracket and mounting screws, the tools you'll need for installation. It's a 13mm socket, an extension, a ratchet, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Let's get started. Our first step, we need to locate and remove our factory PCV line, which is this line here that's shaped like a horseshoe. It's connecting from the valve cover. There's a PCV valve, goes around to the intake manifold here right behind the throttle body. You'll see on the connection that blue clip, there's a little teeny tiny tab that's on the bottom of it. That tab you have to push towards the firewall and then lift up on the fitting. You don't need to push it too hard, just enough to release it. You see there, and then we have to do the same thing to the one on the PCV. Take a closer look at these tabs. As you can see here, this tab towards the firewall just breaks that circle to release the fitting. So push the tab and pull up on the fitting. Now we're going to go and prep our oil separator for installation. You'll notice on the J&L bracket there's a logo. There's also a logo on the actual oil separator itself. We're going to align these two logos so they're facing the same direction, and then use the supplied screws to mount the bracket to the oil separator. Now the mounting location for our oil separator is off of this battery tie down. So we're going to remove this 13mm nut. Now we're going to take our J&L assembly, slide it into place. We're going to route our hose from the back underneath this air conditioning line. Just into place. Slide the bracket over that same stud and re-secure your nut. And don't tighten the nut all the way up yet, because we want to be able to adjust the bracket. We'll tighten it up on final assembly. Now we just need to make our hose connections. So you have your line here. This is going to connect to our PCV valve. So it's simply going to loop around and plug onto the valve. Something to note, see this connection is facing down, which is the orientation we want, but if for whatever reason yours is facing out, these connections all move. They'll spin all the way around. They might be tough to break free initially, but they will spin. So get that one onto that. What we're aiming for is that this hose runs on top of this rubber isolator here for these coolant lines, so it'll keep this line off of these coolant lines. And then your hose from the back again runs underneath this air conditioning line, and then it's going to loop in underneath the air intake and plug onto the intake manifold fitting. So same thing, if the fitting is facing the wrong direction, adjust it to make your hose routing nice and neat, and that plugs right onto there. As you see, our connections are just push to connect. There's a green tab on them that says push, and that's how you release the fitting. So again, this fitting you would press down. Don't remove these clips, you just need to press that. It's a button. Now our last step, we need to finish tightening up our mounting bolt. What you want to check here is this clearance between this hose and this air conditioning line. It's not a big deal if this is touching, because it's got this big foam pad on it, isolator. Also, this line's got a lot of give to it, so it's not rigid, not going to hurt anything. Check your line going from the back. Make sure it's got clearance off this master cylinder. It should have plenty of room. So, and then just square this thing up so it looks nice, and tighten up your nut the rest of the way. Yeah, so we still got a little air gap there. Take a closer look at everything here. So, again, if this is touching ever so slightly, it's not a big deal. That's what this big foam pad's for. So that's going underneath the intake, down to your connection, and then your PCB connection. Again, it's resting on this rubber isolator. It's a big thick rubber hose on a big thick isolator. And that completes your installation. What we suggest you do is drive it about 1,000 miles. Check your oil separator for how much is collected. Most of these V6 EcoBoost, anything late model, is about ½ ounce to 1 ounce every 1,000 miles, depending on where you live and how you drive it. So check it at 1,000. That'll give you a good judge of how frequently you really need to service it. The oil separator holds 3 ounces in its default form. This is compatible with our extension that doubles capacity to 6 ounces. So if you want to make it between oil changes, say you're changing it every 5,000, that would be a good addition. Also, that would be a good addition for anybody that lives in a very cold climate in the winter months, because you will get some condensation buildup in the oil separator during the winter months just from the temperature difference. So that additional capacity will buy you some more time. So in the winter months, you do want to check this more frequently until you get a good judge of how much yours collects. We appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, please reach out, and we'll see you on the next one.